Hello and welcome. I'm Mensa Augustine. In this tutorial, we're looking at trigonometry, and by the end of this video tutorial, we should be able to understand the basic trigonometric identities. So join me as we go through this in a very few steps. Now, we have a nice right-angled triangle here to help us. That's good. Now, since this angle is 90 degrees, right? This triangle is a right-angled triangle in a very simple way. So with regards to that, the side facing the 90 is called the hypotenuse, and I've made that side R. So if you cannot find the basic trig ratios, let's do that one quickly before we proceed, right? So let's take this angle, theta. So if I take sine of theta, then I take cosine of theta, then tangent of theta. What do I get? Then if I consider beta, if I take cosine of beta, then sine of beta and tangent of beta, what do I get? In a very simple way, you see that the sine of the angle simply means the sine of the angle we have ka. Wow, let me write it here. We have ka and twa. So the sine of the angle simply means the side opposite to the angle divided by the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle. So that is x divided by r. And the cosine ka of the angle theta is simply the side adjacent to the angle theta. So this is the side adjacent divided by the hypotenuse of the triangle. So that one is y divided by r. Wow. In a very simple way, right? So let's see. Then the tangent of the angle theta is twa, the side opposite divided by the side adjacent, x divided by y. Good. Now, if I take cosine of beta, then sine of beta and tangent of beta, do that one and leave your answer at the comment section. Okay, based on this right-angled triangle. Let's go. Now, y. Let me fasten it first, guys. Okay, that's good. Now let's see. From Pythagoras theorem, you can write the hypotenuse squared equals y squared plus x squared. Wow. Now let us divide through by the hypotenuse squared. So r squared divided by r squared is 1. Then we have y squared divided by r squared equals, plus x squared divided by r squared. Wow. So this is going to give us 1 equals y on r all squared. Wow. This my button is not going to give me, but I'll do that. Let's see. Plus x divided by r all squared in a very simple way. So now we're going to look at this. 1 equals y on r. Look at that. It's sine theta in a very simple way. Y on r. No, it's cosine of theta. Yes. So we have cosine of theta and it is being squared plus x on r is a sine of theta and it is being squared. So we have 1 equals cosine squared of theta plus sine squared of theta in a very simple way. Wow, that's good. Now, we call this the Pythagorean identities, right? Yes, in a very simple way. So, that is one of the trig identities. Cosine squared plus sine squared, cosine squared of an angle plus sine squared of the same angle is equal to 1. Let's see the other one. So, should I clean it? Yeah, let me clean it and then put it here. Let me do that. So we found that, let's kill this one. We found that cosine squared of theta plus sine squared of theta equals 1. That's good. Now, with this, we can use this one or we can just move straight with this. Yes, that's good. But before we do that, let us quickly revise reciprocal of the trig ratios, right? Let's do that one. Reciprocal of the trig ratios. We say that if I have 1 divided by cosine of theta, wow, look at this. I'm going to have 1 divided by y on r, which is the same as r on y. And 1 divided by cosine of theta is simply secant of theta. So secant of theta, referring to this diagram, is r on y in a very simple way. And if I have 1 divided by sine of theta, then I have 1 divided by x on r, which will be r on x. And this is simply cosecant of theta in a very simple way, right? That is good. So what do we do? Now let's see the tangent one. If I have 1 divided by tangent of theta, then I'm going to have 1 divided by this, that will be y on x. And 1 divided by tangent of theta is simply cotangent of theta in a very simple way. So here, let me do this. Let me divide each term by cosine squared, divided by cosine squared of theta, divided by cosine squared of theta, and here by cosine squared of theta. This will give me 1, plus this will be sine theta divided by cosine of theta all squared equals 1 divided by cosine of theta all squared. Remember, 1 squared is still 1. Now, what does this represent? This is simply sine theta divided by sine theta. The sine theta is x on r. So divided by y, oh sorry, this is cosine, right? Sine theta divided by cosine of theta. So you have x on r divided by y on r. And this is going to be x on r times r on y, so that we're going to have sine theta divided by cosine of theta to be x on y. Wow. And this x on y is simply tangent of theta. So you write 1 plus tangent of theta squared to be equal to 1 on cosine is simply secant. So you write here secant of theta squared. Good. So this is going to give us 1 plus tangent square of theta equals secant square of theta as a trigonometric identity, or one of the Pythagorean's trig identity, in a very simple way. That's good. Now, so we found 2, right? We first shown that cosine squared of theta plus sine squared of theta equal 1. And then here we've shown that 1 plus tangent squared of theta equals secant squared of theta in a very simple way. Now, with the same thing that we have here, let us divide through by sine. So we divide here by sine of theta and divide here by sine of theta, and then we divide here by sine of theta squared. So this will give us cosine of theta divided by sine of theta all squared plus this will give us 1 equals 1 on sine of theta all squared. Wow. This is 1 plus cosine on sine all squared. Now, what does this give? Look at this. If I take cosine of theta divided by sine of theta, I'm going to have y on r divided by x on r, which will eventually be y on r times r on x, and this will cancel that. You see that you're going to have this to be y on x, which is equal to 1 on tangent, which is equal to 1 on tangent, and 1 on tangent is cotangent in a very simple way. So we have cotangent of theta all squared equals 1 on sine is here. That is cosine, cosecant rather, cosecant of theta squared. So we have cotangent squared of theta plus 1 equals cosecant squared of theta in a very simple. So let's put that one here. 1 plus cotangent squared of theta equals cosecant squared of theta in a very simple way. And remember, we are using theta, 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 meaning that the angles are the same. Look at that. Theta, theta. So if here is 60, the angle here should be 60 in a very simple way. That's good. Now, these are the basic trig identities, or these are the Pythagorean trig identities that you should know. And these are the basics. I hope you've enjoyed this. Kindly like, share, follow, and comment for us to grow the mathematics community.